Till now we have seen superposition theorem and Thevenin's theorem. You know that Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorems are complement to each other. Thevenin's and Norton's are complement to each other. So how will be the Thevenin's? This is your Thevenin circuit. So this is your. So this is our last problem. So in the last class, we have considered this circuit like 20 volts, J80, 40 minus J60. We have reduced this circuit with the help of a Thevenin's theorem. We got the answer. So this is the answer. So this is your equivalent Thevenin circuit. Now we are going to see a Norton's theorem. We have a statement that is Norton and Thevenin's are complement to each other. Norton and Thevenin's are Norton's and Thevenin's are complement to each other. Complement to each other. It means that if you know Norton's theorem, you can easily directly find Thevenin's theorem. If you know Thevenin circuit, you can directly convert it to the Norton circuit. So a sample of Norton circuit. Let us see how will be the sample of Norton circuit. So a sample of Thevenin circuit is like here you may have some VTH and some ZTH. So this is your Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Similarly, Norton's equivalent circuit, here it contains some current IN and in parallel to this we have some ZTH or ZN. You can consider ZN. It means that in the Thevenin's theorem, a voltage source is connected in series with the equivalent resistance, that is called as equivalent resistance or impedance, that is your ZTH. And in Norton's theorem, we get a equivalent circuit where it contains a current source and equivalent resistance or impedance, that depends upon your circuit. In parallel to that, impedance is connected in parallel to the current source, but here the impedance is connected in series to the circuit. If I want to find, if I know this VTH, if I know this Thevenin's circuit, Thevenin's equivalent circuit, I can directly easily find this IN and ZN, because ZN is nothing but your ZN is nothing but your ZTH. If you know ZTH, if you equate it to ZN, that becomes your ZN. So ZN and ZTH are, this is your Norton's impedance, this is your Norton's, this is Thevenin's impedance. Norton's and Thevenin's impedance are equal. If you know one value, then it is easily find other value. So only we need to find this IN. What is IN? IN is nothing but VTH by ZTH. IN is nothing but VTH by ZTH. So from this circuit, what is the VTH? From this circuit, what is VTH? 17.9 with an angle of minus 26.51 by, what is ZTH? ZTH is, it is also approximately equal to 17.9. So 17.85 with an angle of 63.4. Actually this is 63.4. So 63.4. So this value gets cancelled. So what you will get here, which is equal to 1 with an angle of 26.51, 63.40. This is 9 and this is 8. Something 89 point something. It means that approximately you will get minus 90. So what is the, this is your IN. So here if I draw a Norton's equivalent circuit, Norton's equivalent circuit contains a Norton's current and in parallel to your Zn, in parallel to Zn. And what is this Zn value? This Zn is equal to ZTH, which is equal to 17.85 with an angle of 63.4, and this IN is equal to, this IN becomes, this IN, this is your IN, this IN is equal to 1 with an angle of minus 90 degrees. 1 with an angle of minus 90 degrees. Let us verify the same theorem, same problem. Let us consider Norton's theorem. Let us move to Norton's theorem. Norton's theorem. So how will be the Norton's equivalent circuit? Already we have seen Norton's current in parallel with your resistance or impedance. So let us consider a same circuit. What we have considered for your Thevenin, let us verify whether you are getting same value or not. So in the circuit we have something like this is your voltage source, and here one reactance, here capacitive reactance, and one resistor, and this is of your open. And what is the value of this one? J 80 ohms, minus J 60 ohms. And what is the value of this one? 20 with an angle of 0 degrees. This is volts, and this is your 40 ohms. And here you have to find, you have to reduce this circuit into the Norton's equivalent circuit. It means that you have to reduce this circuit into one current source in parallel to impedance, that is your Zn or ZTH. Zn or ZTH, and this is your open terminal. It means that you have to replace this total section into like this. This is your IN, Norton's current and Norton's impedance, and this is your open terminal. So we have to reduce this total circuit. So let us. So what is the step one? Like in this Norton theorem also we have to follow some 4 to 5 steps. So what is the step one? In the step one, we have to remove load resistance, and we have to name that load resistance load with RL. So already they have removed the load resistance and they made it to open terminals. So they have given the circuit itself by completing the step one. What is the step two? The step two, you have to consider current distribution. Let us consider current distribution. Let us consider the circuit one more time. So this is your here it is of inductor J 80 ohms, and this is your resistor, and this is your capacitor. This is your J 60 ohms minus, and the value is 20 with an angle of 0 degrees. This is volts, and this is your 40 ohms, and this is your extended. So we have to, what is the Norton's current? What do you mean by IN? So if you want to find a Norton's equivalent circuit, first of all we have to find IN. So what do you mean by IN? IN is nothing but the current which appears for time being just shorted. For time being, these open terminals are shorted, the current which flows in this branch is called as IN. The current which flows in this branch is called as IN. Now let us do the current distribution. The current supplied by the circuit is, let us consider I. The I current flows through this inductor I. The same amount of current reaches to this point. Actually, at this point it checks whether it has to take the bifurcation. So if you have observed here, for 40 ohms, this is a point A, this is a point B. This point A and B are short circuited. Point A and B are short circuited. It means that point A and point B are at same potentials. If there is no any potential difference, so how much amount of current flows? Zero current flows. How much amount of current flows? Zero current flows. So whatever the current which comes to this point, the same amount of current flows. If zero amount of current flows, can I eliminate this branch? Zero is nothing but open circuit. Zero current is nothing but open circuit. So I can eliminate this branch. So how much amount of current is flowing? I. That is your IN current is flowing. I current is flowing through this. Same amount of current flowing through this branch. Same amount of current flowing through this branch. So that current reaches here, I current, because of open, same amount of current. So here I current is only reaches to. So here is there any current division? No. So this is of a closed circuit, there is no any current division. So IN is nothing but, from the circuit, IN is nothing but I. But what is I? Total voltage by total resistance. Total voltage is 20 with an angle of 0 degrees by total impedance J 80J minus 60J. So which is equal to 20 with an angle of 0 degrees by 20J. Let us consider polar form of 20 with an angle of, polar of 20J. 20J can be written as 0 plus J20. So what is the polar? R is equal to, its polar form becomes R with an angle of theta. What is R? R is equal to under root of 0 square plus 20 square. So which is equal to 20. And theta is equal to tan inverse of, this is your B and this is your A. Tan inverse of 20 by 0. Tan inverse of 20 by 0 is nothing but tan inverse of infinity. So which is equal to, theta is equal to 90 degrees. Let us substitute here. So the polar form of 0 plus J 20 is equal to 20 with an angle of 90 degrees. Now let us IN becomes, IN is equal to 20 angle of 0 degrees by 20 angle of 90 degrees. This 20 gets cancelled, then 0 if 90 goes to upper side. So 1 angle of 0 minus 90 degrees, which gives you 1 with an angle of minus 90 degrees. So have you verified? So before starting your Norton's theorem, we have considered the same example for Thevenin's theorem. Just we have done IN is equal to something of VTH by ZTH. What value we got? We got something like 1 with an angle of minus 90 degrees. Directly we have done, but with the procedure following, here we got 1 with an angle of minus 90 degrees. So if you follow same for your ZTH, ZTH is equal to Zn. So Zn is nothing but your ZTH. What is the ZTH we got in the previous section? So what value we got? 17.85 with an angle of 63.43. So for this circuit, Norton's equivalent becomes Norton's equivalent becomes one with an angle of minus 90 degrees amperes, and this is your 17.85 with an angle of 63.43, and this is your open terminal. This is your ZN. So like this we have to find, and this is your IN. This is your IN. Let us consider one more problem, for a different problem for this one. Till now we have seen the same problem for this. So let us consider one more problem. Find Norton's current. Find Norton's current for given below circuit. So Norton's current. We are going to find Norton's current. Let us take a current source in parallel with one resistor and one here inductor and one capacitor, and this is your open terminal. The value they have given for this source is 16 with an angle of 0 degrees amperes, and this is 25, and this is J 30 ohms, and this is your minus J 50 ohms, minus J 50 ohms, and they have given one more value also here, that is your 15 ohms, 15 ohms, 15 ohms, 25 ohms, J 30 ohms minus J 50 ohms. We have to find Norton's current, that is your IN. For finding your Norton's current, what you have to do? We need to remove the load. Already the load is removed, and we need to make this short. We have to make this branch as a short. So if I make it as a short, so it looks like, just short it. So before proceeding into the problem, just short it. Some amount of current flows through this branch. That is nothing but your IN. IN is nothing but a short circuit current. Short circuit current, and VTH is nothing but your open circuit voltage. Short circuit current. If it is of short circuited, if this capacitor is of short circuited, then it offers a zero current, that is, it offers a zero reactance. Like this will be of open circuit. So when it is connected to short circuit, what happens? For example, if I current is, the current is I, let us consider. At this point, some bifurcation takes place, something like I1, something like your I2. I1 current flows through this section and I2 current flows through this section. So it reaches to this point. If you have observed here, this capacitor is connected to its same potential. So a zero amount of current flows. So you can eliminate this branch. Just eliminate this branch. Eliminate this branch. So by eliminating that branch, this I2 current, this is of open circuit. So the same amount of current flows through this branch. So from this figure we can say that IN is nothing but your I2, or IN is nothing but your I2. So can I apply a current division rule? So if you have observed here, this I2 current reached to this point because of open, the same amount of current flows through this 15 ohms. So if you observe, through this J30 ohm, I2 current is flowing. Through this 15 ohms also, I2 current is flowing. It means that, can I consider these two are in series? Yes. And this combination is in parallel with this 25 ohms. And at this point, I1 is coming and I2 is coming. both are get added, that becomes your I is equal to I1 plus I2. So by current division rule, by current division rule, so I want to find this I2. That is nothing but IN. IN is nothing but your I2. I2 is nothing but your total current. That is total current into opposite resistance. So this for I2 branch, what is opposite resistance? This is your opposite. So that opposite resistance by total we have to write. So what is IT? IT is equal to 16 with an angle of 0 degrees multiplied to 25 by total 25 plus 15 plus J30. So from this we can write IN is equal to I2 is equal to 16 with an angle of 0 degrees multiplied with 25 by 40 plus J30. 45 plus 40 plus J30. Here you can write IN is equal to 1625, that is 400. 400 with an angle of 0 degrees by 40 plus J30. If you multiply, divide with 10, here you will get 40 with an angle of 0 degrees by 4 plus J3. 4 plus J3. This 4 plus J3, it's polar form. This 4 plus J3, the polar form of 4 plus J3. How will you convert 4 plus J3? Polar form becomes R. R is equal to under root of 4 square plus 3 square. So which is equal to 16 plus 9. 16 plus 9 which is equal to under root of 25. So which is equal to 5. Similarly theta is equal to tan inverse of 3 by 4. So right after substituting, tan inverse of 3 by 4 is nothing but your 36.87, which is equal to 36.87. Just substitute here. 40 with an angle of 0 degrees by 5 with an angle of 36.87. So 5 8 ja 40. So from this we can conclude that what is the value of IN? So IN is equal to 8 with an angle of minus 36.87. So this is your Norton's current. This is your Norton's current. Like this we have to apply a Norton's theorem to your AC supply. The basics you need to know what is the Norton's theorem, how we need to apply a Norton's theorem to the circuit, and we need to know how to convert rectangular to polar and polar to rectangular. So in the next class we are going to see maximum power transfer theorem. With that we are going to complete the theorems which are included in your second unit.